this? Want to start this?
Sure. So as I understand it, historically, when you've done tours, you would write the set list the day of and just kind of on the spot. So now that you're performing Oceania start to finish, how does that change the dynamic of the show for you and how you put that set list together?
Well, the thing we found is multifold. One is, by playing the album first, it creates a different expectation in the audience for what they want to hear in the second half. People have been really supportive of us playing the new album, but that said, the majority of people, they want to hear the songs that they came to see, and it better come in that following period or it's going to be... So it changes the dynamics in that way, and that it essentially kind of puts more pressure to have a compacted set that way. But that being said, on top of the other thing that being said, is we found that just the general audience, and I do blame a lot of the bands out there, it's just created an expectation that every show is essentially a greatest hit show now. It has changed the concert dynamic. I'm sure it's different at the indie level for a 22-year-old band, but any band with any kind of history, I don't care what show you go to now, you talk to people, I go to shows with friends, and their mentality is it's got to be a greatest hit show. If it's not a greatest hit show, they're not interested. If I'm a fan of the band's 7th album, most of those people in there, if they like the one song. They don't want to hear the 5th cut off of that, or they're not going to be surprised. The band's, you know what I mean? So those moments are becoming diminished in musical culture, at least in popular musical culture, and that's something that we've seen really radically shift over those 6 years. And I think to be self-referential, that's even a word, to self-reference, is it? Yeah. I think if anybody's seen the documentary If All Goes Wrong, that's the beginning of that mentality that's now kicked in. And I think at the time, it seemed a little bit overreactionary to some people, the way I acted about it and my posture about it. But I saw what was coming. And when you've had a musical life that was so free, and for anybody who saw the band back in the day, and even the initial Zeitgeist tours, it was anything can happen. It was still very exciting. And unfortunately, the majority of that audience was not interested in a musical journey. They were interested in the musical journey that they'd already written in their mind. And if you don't match that musical journey, it sucks. It doesn't matter how good we would play. It doesn't matter how good we would play with every light. They don't fucking know the song because they don't know the song. It doesn't matter that it's from Machine Head. It doesn't even matter if it's from the classic period. And it doesn't matter that Jimmy was in the room, and they don't give a shit. So that's really changed the dynamics. So, we've discussed other ways to approach that, because as the band moves back into popular culture, we're of course put in this box like everybody else, and I can talk about it all day. It doesn't change anything. To give you a classic example, I was looking at my Twitter last night, and there was a girl who had written, I can't believe Billy made us sit through the new album before he played the songs. And but my point is that's fine. She paid her money, she's entitled to opinion. But how many more interviews can I do? Every interview that I gave setting up the tour, I said that we were going to do it. It was no false advertising. Do you know what I mean? So at some point it's like, if they don't read common media, or if they don't even turn to the person next to them and go, what are they doing? Or if they don't listen to what I say before we play Oceania, and I say, thanks, we're playing the new album, then we're going to play some old songs. If that's not cool with you, if 1 hour of your life is too much to fucking ask, then what the fuck are we supposed to, you know what I'm saying? There comes a point where there's only so much we can do. So we've talked about other things. We've talked about whether we do like a fan fest once a year, and we play basically say, okay, we're gonna play 3 shows in this spot, and it'll be stuff that we don't normally play. And then people can come from all over, and we can kind of celebrate that experience once a year, maybe, amongst ourselves, like a tribe or something. But no, seriously, we really enjoyed, like I said the other day in the VIP, if we had a better attitudinal relationship with the general fan base, we'd play more old stuff. Playing old stuff's totally fine. It's the attitude and the expectation. And we just get creamed if we don't do it. Go back and read the reviews from 2-3 years ago. We couldn't roll into town and play and play a great show, and then didn't do this, didn't do that, check Twitter, It's like, at some point, what are we supposed to do? Because we're in that way, then you're just a one-band army. Because every other band's out there fucking going, hey, what can we do? You know, what we call, and excuse the French, the jack off. Just jacking off the audience. And if 50 bands are jacking off the audience and you're only one band not doing it, you look like a contrarian when you're not even trying to be. We're just trying to do what we do. So it's a good question, but I think it's only going to get worse. So I think we have to design things that celebrates that aspect. And maybe we'd be surprised. Maybe we do something like that once a year and we find the promoter be like, man, add 7 more shows. The tickets go out in 5 minutes. I mean, come in here every year and do 10 of those shows, and you know what I mean? And it would become part of our overall business. But in this business, trying to draw this amount of people to a bigger show, those dynamics are really, really rough right now. So, anybody else?
Allie.
Oh, right here. First off, I'm here from Chicago.
Very good. Thank you.
I was curious if you guys were planning an album later down the road, and if so, what type of musical angle do you think that you would venture in? Would you keep it like more rock, or would you go with like sultry aspect?
Well, we've been in the laboratory. We've been gene slicing Siamese Dream and Melancholy hits. So it'll be just whatever the crowd wants. I think, I don't know. Whatever Oceania opened the door to. I think
It's a fabulous album.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But I think you know, for us it was just, can we find something that re-engages, you know, us on one side and the audience on the other. And Oceania's done that. And I think the fact that we've now played the whole album in like, what, 4 or 5 countries now? And we had generally the same reaction every country, you know, between here and here. It's pretty good. Because it wasn't like that for Zeitgeist. It wasn't like that for Machina. It certainly wasn't like that for Adore. So we see a commonality in the fans for what they like about Oceania. And so that being said, I think we're really encouraged by that. And so we want to go further into that.
Excellent.
But I don't know, you want to add any to that?
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely, I think we plan on making new music again really soon. And I don't think, well, it's not like we're gonna wait 2 years. I think it'll be sooner than later.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we're motivated.
I think that's the most pleasurable part of the job at the moment. Anybody else?